I spoke in recent weeks to Jill Biden, the wife, of course, of Democratic presumptive nominee Joe Biden, and also to Eric Trump, one of the sons of President Donald Trump, who also holds executive position in the Trump organization. Law and order will be a big theme of the campaign. Jill Biden said it's unfair to say that her husband wants to defund police. She calls it a scare tactic. Eric Trump says law and order needs to be on the table, talked about in particular ongoing protests in the aftermath of the killing of George Floyd at the hands of police, saying some of what we've seen, in his words, is anarchy. Let's listen to a bit of what they said about an issue that's going to be big in this campaign.
Joe does not believe that the police, any 9/11 services, or other critical services should be defunded. That's ridiculous. Trump, they're trying to scare people.
You don't have Joe Biden call them out for the anarchy that this is, and these cities are being run by, liberal mayors, liberal governors. They're not. I mean, it's really unbelievable to me. You don't have the Democratic Party coming out and condemning this.
Chairwoman Rizzo, how do you answer the response and the critique of people like Eric Trump, who say a lot of people are worried about law and order and Democrats are ignoring it at their own peril?
Well, first of all, Donald Trump and the Republicans are just trying to scare people and distract from the president's failed leadership. Vice President Biden does not believe that the police should be defunded, and he's clearly said so on that. But we do listen and share the deep grief of those calling out for change, and to make sure that policies are enacted that implement and affect this. Joe Biden believes that we need to fund police departments to reform, train, and invest in programs that will help communities.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. GRUTERS, your response.
Yeah, thanks so much. Biden did talk about redirecting funds from police agencies. And at the end of the day, this is a law and order. Public safety is one of the government's main priorities. And all you got to do is look at some of these left-leaning cities and the anarchy that does exist, and the fact that these Democrat mayors won't do anything to stop it. And they're burning down buildings and everything else. Listen, the American people are not going to go for a lawlessness type party, and that's exactly what the Democrats represent right now. It's really sad when you look at the burning of the buildings and the toppling of the statues and everything else. I would hope that TERRIE RIZZO would condemn the actions of these cities, and I hope that Joe Biden does as well. But the problem is they can't, because they have to make sure they string along the left-wing extremist wing of their party. But all of that will make sure that Trump wins re-election, for sure.
I need a brief closing comment from each of you. What keys will you look for in the primary next week as the tea leaves you read as the chairs of our respective parties? First, you briefly, Joe GRUTERS, chair of the Florida Republican Party.
Yeah, thanks again, Michael, for having us on. Certainly, I look at the primary as a test run for statewide, making sure we have enough poll watchers and workers out there, and make sure that we have everything in line for the real thing, which is the general election. And listen, this is not a persuasion campaign per se this November. This is going to be a get out the vote campaign. That's where our dominating ground force is going to make a difference. The Democrats can't even come close to what we've been able to do. We're going to be, and then listen, Donald Trump is a resident of Florida, and I think Floridians love him, and they're going to reward him with the 29 electoral votes. Chairwoman
Rizzo, your closing thoughts, the keys you'll look for in the primary next week.
And we're looking for, again, enthusiasm in turnout, particularly in our vote by mail. We're doing test runs of all of our programs. We're looking for candidates that are going to be emerging from the primaries who will help take on the Republicans, and along with Joe Biden, show what the Democratic case is as to why Donald Trump must be defeated, and we must elect more Democrats up and down the ballot. We have a record number of Democrats across the state running, and we will be electing many of them to the State House and the State Senate, where they will hold the Republicans accountable, and we will deliver the 29 votes to Joe Biden, because he is the leader that we need to heal our country and take us forward.
To TERRIE RIZZO, chairwoman of the Florida Democratic Party, and to Chairman GRUTERS, chairman of the Florida Republican Party. In our new Zoom world, you both have been great about dealing with all of that. We appreciate you being our guest and offering your perspectives this night.
Thank you.
Thank you.